Hello there guys, Tombo Combo here, and in this video we're going to be doing the second episode of our weekend league journey. At the moment we've played 14 games, we've got 10 wins, so we're en route for, I think it's Elite 3 was our prediction at this point. But we've got 26 matches left. We're going to play 13 in this game and then 13 in Thursday's episode. So guys, if you do enjoy videos like these, or you do enjoy the weekend league journey, then please leave a like, comment, share and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers, so if you could subscribe then that would be great. And the first team we come up against is a Serie A team. This guy has a pretty solid Serie A team. Perisic up front with Bacca was quite worrying when I first saw it, and Bacca puts Cuadrado through for, again, like the last episode, it's poor defending, and I don't know what Cech is doing there, but every single time someone has that sort of shot, Cech always seems to parry it into his other person, or his other player. But we get the 1-1 there with Suarez. And as you'll see in this weekend league, midway through, I do actually swap Iniesta for Andre Gomes and sell Iniesta, just because I don't think he was doing that much. But that's some lovely footwork there from Hazard. And we get the 2-1 win, so we're off to a good start. We get the first win of the episode, and the second opponent we come up against, he has SBC Hazard, Lukaku, Deulofeu as his front three. And we got off to a good start as well. Iniesta getting through, and he bangs it into the top left corner for a 1-0 lead. And we sub on Dybala for Toni Kroos. And I think we put Iniesta at centre mid, or put Royce at centre mid, just because I like to do that. I don't know, I like a little bit more pace on the field, and Dybala always seems to come up clutch in these episodes and in these games, with scoring that goal there, assisting Suarez for the 3-0, and that guy was out of there. I think he rage quit. So we're 2-0 in this episode so far, and then we come up against this monster team. He has Aguero, Hazard, Kevin De Bruyne, Toure, informed David Luiz, and his team just looked insane. It was probably about a 2 million coin team, I'd say. Maybe a 1.5 million coin. Hazard does some bits. Kevin De Bruyne slots it home for the 1-0. I thought Cech should have done a little bit better there. He got beaten so easily on the floor, and then David Luiz slots out one home, and we lose 2-0. Next opponent, Batshuayi, Mane, Balassi, and a kind of like bog standard Premier League team. Maybe one that's a little bit cheaper than most that I see in the weekend league now. And he gets a lovely goal there by Herrera. But the thing that pissed me off against this guy was his stadium was absolutely terrible. Look at the shade of it. Like, there's shade everywhere, and I just hate playing against these sort of players, because your eyes just can't function with going into the light areas and then going into the dark areas all the time. But we sweat goal there for a 2-1. Every time that I'm in that position and I can sweat goal, I will definitely do it, because obviously the weekend league, you're playing for some high rewards, and if I can get a goal from a sweaty goal, which could potentially get me an Elite 3 or a Goal 1, then I'm doing it 10 out of 10 times. Because I know people would do it against me, but we do some lovely 1-2 play there. Hazard comes inside, we sweat goal again for the 3-2 with Suarez. But this guy, we had to go all out attack or ultra attack in, because we were still down. It was the 85th minute, and we're losing 3-2, so we lose 4-2 just because our defence was split open. And just showing you here that we are 22 wins out of 18, so we're 12-6 at the moment. We've got 22 games left, so at the moment we're still kind of on track for Elite 3, Goal 1, that sort of area. This guy had a Aubameyang, Haliovic, which I thought was very weird, but he actually done alright for this guy. But he gets the first goal there, and Cech again. Like, the first one he parries it out to Aubameyang, and the second one he just doesn't have the power behind his hands to save it. And we go down 2-0 just to Aubameyang, and literally I hate this guy on FIFA. Whenever I use him, he's just awful. He just scuffs every shot, but whenever I come up against him, he just rapes me. But Henderson actually does some nice work there, gets himself a goal, and it's 2-1 now, and I think we make it 2-2. Yeah, we do. Dybala slots in Hazard, and Hazard with his left foot gets the goal. And Hazard was actually quite key in this episode. For the 13 games that we were using, in the first episode he wasn't doing that much, but he scored some very important goals for us. But Aubameyang gets slotted in behind our defence, and he slots it home for the 3-2, so that's another loss. So we're 12-7. We sell Iniesta, we bring in Andre Gomes, and personally, I think that Andre Gomes is so good on this game as a cam, just behind Suarez. He does a lot of good work, and then I just sub him off at half time for Dybala and maybe move Andre Gomes in Kroos's position just because Kroos has such low pace. But this guy had inform Firmino up front, inform Mane, inform Nzonzi. Nzonzi is actually really, really good on this game. I've come up against him a couple of times in the weekend league, and he's very, very solid. But Sterling does some very nice work there for a 1-0 lead. He slots it home very nicely. Kroos nicks the ball away from his guy, and every time I do that stupid L1 triangle pass, or L1 triangle, and I do it, and I could have literally just scored if I'd have just pressed triangle to Nani, but we scored anyway because of the cross. But if I'd have just pressed triangle, then we wouldn't have taken so long to score. But this guy had a very nice team as well. Informed Giovinco. Now, every time I see Giovinco in a team, I get scared. He's very, very good on this game. So quick, very agile, and you just can't really do anything against him. But first goal comes there where Suarez slots it home. But this guy was a bit of a prick to play against. I didn't really like playing against him. Candreva, I actually remember being so annoyed when I saw that goal. And then every time that Candreva got on the ball, I was well scared. But Nainggolan does some nice work, and he slots home for the 2-1. And again, Cech doesn't have the power behind his arm to save that. I mean, if Cech performed some of the saves that I know he's capable of, we probably would have got more games won in this episode, because we had a very rough patch in the middle of our weekend league, which is this episode. Third team we come up against was a Serie A team again. Serie A teams and BPL teams are like the only teams I come up against. I don't really see a lot of Liga BBVA teams. It's mainly just sweaty Serie A teams and sweaty BPL teams. But the first goal comes from Mertens, and Mohamed Salah wins a header and scores against me. And literally at this point I was raging. I was so annoyed. But luckily we get some bullshit in our favour when Nainggolan creates an own goal and we make it 1-1. And then from that, Dybala does some nice work. Does the old reliable turn, and then Royce to Suarez, and what a goal. Literally that goal, I think I was actually screaming. I was like, that was insane. It was such a good goal. I was so happy with that. And then Hazard creates a little bit of space for him to run in. What does he do? He does some nice work. Dybala to Sterling, and this was a great finish as well. And we end up winning 3-2. And Mobley to Salah, and Mohamed Salah, he is in literally every team, and I hate him. He is so good. Him and Immobile, if you are creating a Calcio A team, definitely get them two, because they are very good. But we get some luck again. Buffon should have done better with that, but then again, Cech should have done better with R1 or R1s in this episode. So it's all swings and roundabouts. But this team was very nice, actually. He had a hybrid between the BPL and the Serie A, the two sweaty teams that I was just talking about. And he's got Dybala, SBC, Hazard, that sort of stuff. But De Bruyne gets an opportunity, and De Bruyne does what De Bruyne does best, and that is scoring. And De Bruyne is another one of them players. I'm not going to say he's OP, because obviously he costs quite a lot, but he is very, very good on this game. But we committed like 4 men over to that right winger then, and then Florenzi was just in our box. Florenzi, of all people, was in our box to just slot it home for the 2-0 for this guy. And this guy was better than me. I'm just going to, hands up, admit it. He was better than me, and I rage quit at 3-0. I'm not even ashamed to admit it. But I'm just showing you here, I've got 17 games remaining. We've got 14 wins. We've had a very, very rough patch in this weekend league episode so far. We come up against this team, and Hazard and Ibrahimovic. And every time someone plays a left mid or a right mid up front, I instantly think they know a lot about FIFA, because not that your average player would do that, but because wingers are very OP this year, especially when they're playing up front. I know Nepenthes plays Sterling and Hazard and Son as his striking options, because they're just so good. And Dybala, we get the cutback from Hazard running down the byline, and Dybala slots it home there. And then Toni Kroos does what Toni Kroos does best as well, and slots it home. And Toni Kroos he's one of them players that doesn't have a lot of pace, but his shot is so good. But obviously his pace lets him down quite a lot. If he could have like 60 pace, then he'd be the perfect centre mid. But this guy has Jamie Vardy, and again, Jamie Vardy's one of them players that I hate come up against. But it's actually Eriksen that scores his first goal. Jamie Vardy and Mane. But I'll spread it up here because we give away quite a sloppy penalty with Hector Bellerin. It was a blatant penalty. But like obviously I'm only including it because it's a goal. And yeah, he slots it home with Vardy after a long wait actually. I don't know what he was doing. Come on. There we go. So we dive the right way with Cech, and that's another thing I find quite frustrating this year, is that you can dive the right way, you can guess where they're going, but most of the time your keeper won't even get it, even because it's driven along the floor, or because your keeper's just a spastic and can't get the ball. But we make it 2-1, and then a Mustafi header, and at this point I felt the momentum switch. After we got the first goal, I felt the momentum switch, and it was all in my favour, and then we just absolutely trounced the guy. 3-2, and I think we get a fourth. Yeah, we do. Suarez picks it up after Sterling nicks the ball away from him. I think it was off kickoff actually, and this guy must have been raging because he was 2-0 up. But a tip for you lot, never ever think the game is over if you're winning 2-0. 2-0 is a harsher lead than 1-0. I'd rather be 1-0 up than 2-0 most of the time, because 2-0, if the guy gets one goal back, he has got all the momentum in his favour. But Nani does some nice work, slots in Suarez and then Sterling, and a lovely finish. Sterling does that finish so often, and it's so clinical from him. But then Hazard, we subbed Hazard on now, and Dybala, and I think this goal is a very nice goal actually. I think it's a nice move. Yeah, it is. So Dybala chips over to Sterling, and this was a lovely finish actually. What a finish from Sterling. So he's scored both our goals in this game. That's not something I see very often, is that Sterling scores most of our goals, and he does some bits here. And Dybala, and again, like, I feel sorry there, because Jack Butland should probably be doing a lot better than with that shot, but he just didn't have the power behind his hands. But then we just get split open by Jamie Vardy, and at this point, 3-1 up, he could easily get another goal, and then I'd be shitting myself for the last 10-15 minutes. But this free kick, I was immensely proud of this free kick. I don't normally score free kicks, and when I saw that, especially with Danny Rose on the line, and he just couldn't do anything, Suarez just had so much power behind the ball then. And I think this is the last team we come up against. He had Movember Lacazette, one to watch Sané, inform Kante. Kante is an absolute monster in this game. And my recording messed up, but you just saw there we won 2-1. And to end the episode, 18 wins, 13 games remaining. So we're trying to get to goal 1. We're not going to be able to get to elite, I don't think. We're not going to be able to get 11 wins and 2 losses. So guys, if you did enjoy the video, then please leave a like I said at the start. Comment, share and subscribe. Subscribe for 50 subscribers by the end of the year. And until next Weekend League video, the last one of the series this week, I will see you guys later.